The only public works to be seen is the digging of trenches in and around the city. Regulation, shape and depth to save 1.5 million people from possible Indian air attacks. And despite the general talk of war, the only evidence that the civil authorities are preparing for it are these trenches. In order to remind people here that Indian infiltration is a reality, 6 Indian soldiers captured last week were presented to the Pakistani and international press. We were told they belonged to the Naga regiment and had been captured 2 miles inside Pakistan. We were told through a Pakistani interpreter that they were among 200 Indian troops on a search and destroy mission. In fact, the only search and destroy missions locally that have been successful have been those carried out by the Mukti Bahini, the East Bengali guerrillas. Last week they blew up the government's Department of Film and Production, in effect the government's propaganda department. The Mukti are operating now regularly within the city, more confident now that the army has thinned out. And purely as an act of terror, they blew up a school house. 22 children were injured here. There are between 80 and 100,000 Mukti Bahini operating within East Pakistan. And in the last few months, they have blown up 165 bridges, large and small, have damaged 5 cargo boats, including 1 British boat from Calcutta, have sunk a 1,600-ton jute barge, and have blown up a power substation. And they have committed, in Dhaka alone, 6 political assassinations every day. In order to fill the gap left by the army's evacuation to the border and to combat Mukti activities, the government has organized a paramilitary force called Razakars. The Razakars' main duties are roadblocks, often carried out with a great show of force, and sentry duties around the main government installations. Some recruits to the Razakars are students, but many come from the militant wing of the Muslim League, who were responsible for much of the murder and the burning of villages which followed March the 25th. They are all East Bengalis and are paid by the government direct. But no one knows just how loyal they would be to the government if that loyalty was ever under stress. In their last short war against India in September '65, Pakistan East and West fought as a united nation against their enemy across the border. But today, no one any longer takes that national solidarity for granted, in fact, quite the reverse. Because of Indian propaganda, because of what happened here in March and what happened afterwards, because it's India that is giving aid and comfort to the thousands of Mukti Bahini and has almost recognized an independent Bangladesh nation, because it's India that is burdened with the millions of East Bengali refugees, because of all this, India is beginning to succeed here in projecting an image as the friend of the people. Michael Nicholson, News at 10, Dhaka, East Pakistan.